Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
It's always good to be in your presence, my friend.
Yeah, I love the shirt.
Thank you so much, yes. Thank you so much. I'm just so happy to be a part of the Olivet Missionary Baptist Church family.
Great church.
Yeah, I've been there 28 years.
Really?
And hopefully the Lord will keep me there a little longer. I enjoy it, and I love the people there.
You know, I grew up out there.
On High School
Rode
Road?
my bike up and down, my 15-speed, up and down High School Road.
Oh, yeah.
And you all erected a beautiful building there.
Thank you.
For worship.
Yeah, it's a great congregation. It's one of the city's oldest. But our area is now encompassing a high level of homicide and crime. So I'm in the community doing what I can to resolve some of that, which is not much, but I'm there.
Yeah.
Trying to talk it down and not talk it up.
We appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much.
And speaking of doing, we want to thank our sponsors for what they're
Lee
doing.
and Crawley are still with us. Thank you. That law firm is with us. And then we have Fervent Care Christian Academy. It's still right there with us. And not only that, we have the Indianapolis Help Start Safe Sleep program is with us. And hopefully they'll come online and bring other information to the community. And we believe that we can get it done with the help of the Marion County Health Department.
A lot of people doing a lot of great work.
Yeah, in this city, and we want to make sure you know about that.
And we have a great guest coming up, Reverend Samuel Ruiz.
We got the preacher, the Hispanic preacher.
Yeah.
He's here with us again. He was with us some time ago, and he's back, and he's looking good, too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So he'll be joining us momentarily. We want to thank you for joining us. Please be sure to go to YouTube and subscribe. Also, like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook. That's our theme song. Like us on Facebook. And make sure you share us with other people.
And we'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We're joined by Reverend Samuel Ruiz, pastor of Outreach Ministry, Hispanic Integration in Society, Hispanic Mission in American Churches. Born in Cuba, pastor's kid. How'd you end up all the way over here in America?
It's very interesting because as a pastor's kid, I was not intended to be a pastor. And I graduated myself as a chemist and working with the beer industry. And then after the mandatory army in Cuba, I got involved with the quality of water. So I was in labs protecting the fresh water in the Havana area. But God knows everything. And God put me in a spot because I play music. I love music. I was playing keyboard and piano in the church, and some missionaries came from Norway, and they needed some translation. At that point, I knew some English, so I was helping them until the time that they were asking me if I would like to learn theology. They will give me some scholarships, and in prayer, I got I think it is my time. And I went to a seminary there in Matanzas, Cuba, and I gained a scholarship, and I went to Canada, and I ended my Master in Divinity in St. Catherine, Ontario, Canada. At that point was different issues with the perestroika, glasnost, the fall of the communism in Russia, and it was very uncertainty there. So I got a calling, Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
1994 in Gary, Indiana. And since then I have been planting new missions in the Lutheran Church since Northwest Indiana until Seymour, Indiana.
Lutheran Synod, is that who you with? What branch of Lutheran Church are you with? Let me ask that.
The Lutheran Church Missouri Synod.
Missouri Synod.
And some people ask me, you are in a very conservative church, but also God has been providing us tools to reach people in Spanish language so they can be also part of the church body. And as I always say, and I was talking with different people when we were coming here that we are not a club of Cubans, we are not a club of Guatemalans, we are a club, we are a church, people that speak Spanish.
Right.
And sometimes we have 9 nationalities under the same roof.
Speaking one language.
Worship God, yes. Speaking just one language. It's
The
wonderful.
topic that, Pastor, we want to share with you is the work of the integration of Hispanics in society. Tell me how that's going. I know you plant churches, but when you look at the brass, the tools of all of that, how is that going? How is that working for you?
Well, as a missionary, you cannot bring the Bible only. You need to help people. Neighbors helping neighbors. And the first thing that we do is to provide, to say if people need jobs. I was founder of the Latino Expo. And this way we were trying to provide things, help to people, that resources, that they can be part of the society, to learn the language by free, you know, that they can be part of the society, that they can be good ambassadors, as I say, and the ambassador from the consulate from Mexico say, we need to be good ambassadors, because every time that a Mexican, Cuban, Guatemalan, or Colombia do something represents that country. And then we need to be good ambassadors, trying to be good neighbors, wherever we are.
Yeah, it's good.
And one of the things that you say is that everyone deserves a better life.
Yes.
And how are you all accomplishing that mission through outreach?
Again, this, for example, this coming June 30th, we are going to have the Festival of the Family in the Military Park, along with Radio Latina, a radio in Spanish that is called Radio Latina. And we are going to start this festival with a time of worship on June 30th at 12:30.
Are you the preacher of the hour?
Yep. And because I have a radio show every Friday at 12:30 and 1:10 a.m., and the idea is to start this festival praising God with everything that has been given to us, and that we are part of the society, we are part of this city, and we want to bring good things, good values to this city as well. And it's going to be now the last Sunday of this month, June.
Is this the first one?
It is, this festival is every year.
Okay.
But it is going to be the first time that we have a time of worship.
And I think that's what I'm talking about. I know about the festival, but the worship element that you're putting in this year.
It is the first time.
Yeah.
And you say it's a festival of the family?
Yes.
And it appears, and over the years, and I've asked questions of other leaders in the Hispanic community about that family structure. And it seems that it's still a strong family structure, a lot of emphasis on family. And how are you all able to hold that together and keep that emphasis out there?
Well, one thing that we try to do is also to bring the language to our kids and grandkids. That every time that we go to the supper or lunch, we try to speak in our own languages, and also to remember that we have some traditions that we can keep for generations to come. And we do that.
You never forsake your language.
No, no.
forsake
In the
your
same
language.
way that people from Europe, German or Italian do that, we also do that as well from Latin
Which
America.
also preserves your culture
Exactly.
and transports your culture here as you as
Yes,
people
and I
transition
see
into
my
this.
daughter. My daughter feels that she has an ownership. She even in social media, she put her name, the Cuban girl, because she wants to keep,
She likes her
the
Cuban
tradition.
ties. Yeah.
Yep.
So, of course, the big festival is coming up on June 30th, and where can folks who may not be connected, how can they avail themselves to some of the resources that you all have?
Well, in the website www.trinity.org, and also in Twitter and Instagram, Samuel Ruiz Official, because I put different things there about the radio, so everybody can reach me there at Samuel Ruiz Official.
Now, are you live on that show at 1:10, or is that pre-recorded?
Live.
Live at 1:10.
Live every Friday at 12:30 p.m.
Wow. Okay, p.m. All right, I thought it was a.m.
Yes, almost at lunchtime.
Okay, lunchtime. People, you have a great listenership.
Yes, and we bring national people from different background. I bring some reflections, and also we bring different people from the city as well.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all your success so far.
Thank you. And before we were at the center of the city. Now we split our mission from east and west. And we have a church in Avon, our Shepherd Lutheran Church, every Saturday at 6:30, and Sundays at 1 o'clock in Trinity Lutheran Church in the east side, Post Road and 16th Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
One
Growing,
church in
growing.
in two
So
locations.
we are one to expand because we saw in the demographics that these two areas are growing, people buying houses and so forth.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You have our prayers, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay with us. We've got more to come. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
Your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And we're joined today by Mr. Emil Akio, founder, partner of Inno Power. Conference going to be taking place, and also Mr. Jason Williams. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us, sir.
You're welcome. So what precipitated this idea?
You know, we see all the growth in Indianapolis and how fast the city is growing, and just keep hearing an overall message of opportunity from downtown Indianapolis. And as we looked at the city and saw that there were so many in the city that were not reaping the rewards of this growth, and felt like we have a unique opportunity in the city today to make sure that everybody is enjoying this growth and everybody gets the message of opportunity and is growing right along with the city.
Wow, that's a profound introduction. You want to make sure everybody gets a piece.
Everybody. I mean, we live in unbelievable times in 2019, and the overall message of opportunity to young people, to minority communities, to understand that in 2019, there's some unbelievable opportunities available. But I think we need to spark that conversation and also start developing pathways so people understand how they can reap the rewards of the growth of the city.
Everybody can eat.
Everybody can eat, and everybody should eat.
And you're going to be using Inno Power, Indy, to make this happen. Talk to us about the dates, the times, and what's going to be going on.
First off, we are so blessed to have worked with Tanya Bell, the CEO of Indiana Black Expo, and Greg Wilson, the board chair, to share our idea. This was an idea in January, and we're so blessed that they embraced the idea and allowed us to leverage a platform. Indiana Black Expo Summer Celebration platform is unique. I've been to cities all over the country, and not too many cities have a grassroots organization that puts on such a wonderful event. So we wanted to not reinvent the wheel and create our own platform, but see if we can insert what we're doing into a traditional historical platform in our city. So Tanya allowing us to come on board in our first year without really understanding is this going to be successful? We know it's needed, but nothing like this as far as bringing everybody. When we say minorities and we say inclusive growth, we can't say that without being inclusive ourselves. So this is all minority groups to come under the umbrella, come into the convention center at Indiana Black Expo, July 19th and 20th, to participate in some capacity building. How do I grow as a professional? How do I navigate the professional arena? How do I take my next step? And we have some wonderful presenters that are going to be sharing some thoughts on just the professional setting. The other is, if I have an idea to start a business, where do I go? A lot of ideas die in the hood, you know, but we want to be able to say, if you have an idea, here are some resources available for you that will help you take your idea from an idea into fruition. The other thing is if I have a business and I want to grow my business, what do I need to do? So we talk to a lot of small business owners, minorities, who said, you know what, number one thing is I need access to finance. I need money, capital. Others, I need networks. I don't know people. So in this arena, we have a pitch competition for startups where they can pitch to win $5,000 cash prize. But more of all, if you participate in a pitch competition, you receive some wraparound services from the IEDC, from the chamber, organizations that already exist in the city. So we want to create that environment for entrepreneurs and also professionals to say, when we talk about opportunity, there's opportunity to grow professionally and there's opportunity to start your own business, and entrepreneurship should be looked at as a pathway to upward mobility in the city.
I love what I hear. I've been in this city all of my life, and I've heard a lot of things, seen a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that is plaguing the minority community, and that is government and local vendor contracts. How are you going to approach local and vendor contracts, government and local contracts? How are you going to get an entrepreneur who wants to be a part of that system of business? How are you going to show them how to break into the vendor system here in Indianapolis?
That's a great question, and one of the great things about coming on board with IBE and doing this is, for the last 40 years, IBE has held a business conference. The focus of the business conference is with how do I receive contracts with the state, procurement contract. So the state and the city are present there to share with minority companies the certification process as an MBE or WMBE, also what they're looking for in minority companies or what contracts they have available. So for 40 years, IBE has hosted that business conference, right? And that's still going to happen within the Summer Celebration platform. But we also know that there's so many other entrepreneurs today. They're young people that are starting apps and tech that are trying to figure out how do we grow with this tech scene in the city. They're young folks who are looking to say, look, I want to do business overseas, but how do I start and grow? So from a procurement standpoint, Indiana Black Expo has done a great job of bringing in the city, bringing in the state, and doing some capacity building with minority entrepreneurs to say, here are opportunities with the state and the city as far as contracts are concerned. Here's what you got to do to develop your capacity to earn those contracts, right? Part of what has happened is, as a whole, and I include myself and probably all of us, we need to do a better job of communicating to people where the resources are. So IBE does this business conference, but the participation for minority businesses has not been where they would like it to be.
It never has been.
So they are looking to say, okay, how do we improve this piece of the conference to bring more minorities so they can maximize? Because now what the state says is, well, we're here, but we don't see any minority companies. So what you could do as IBE is create the platform and hopefully get the people there. So we came on board as an extension of the business conference to focus on, it's a new day. There's so many young entrepreneurs out there, and there's so many people have ideas. I want to do a record company. You know, great idea, but then what do I do next? So we just want to encourage minorities across the city to say, if you're looking to grow, or if you're looking for a pathway for upward mobility, you don't have to necessarily just focus on manufacturing.
Right.
You could start your own business. Another thing that I found out from the IEDC and the Small Business Corporation is they could do market analysis. I can look at Meridian, 38th and Meridian, all the way to 38th and German Church, and let you know what businesses will be successful in that area. I was blown away when I heard that those resources exist. So we just got to be able to coach and develop people to understand that there's opportunity and develop the skills to be an entrepreneur. Now, doesn't mean, we all know, it doesn't mean you're going to be entrepreneurs. This is a tough thing.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're going to be successful. But if you have a desire to own your own and have equity in your own.
This is the place to get the information.
Exactly.
Speaking of place to get the information, Jason, how can people get signed up?
Yeah, so they can find out about InnoPower Indy at that same website. So it's innopowerindy.com. That's INNO. Indy or InnoPowerIndy.com, and as Emil explained, right, lots of great resources over 2 days down at the Convention Center as part of Indiana Black Expo Summer Celebration, July 19th and 20th. We have one-day passes for just $59, and a two-day pass is only $99. So obviously a very accessible price point for some, truly, high-quality professional educational opportunities.
Well, there's one thing for sure. This preacher is going to make sure you all get back on this show and see how this particular conference is going to go, and to see what the fallout will be. Because this is a very important issue with me, because the minority community struggles with vendor contracts.
Yes, sir. And preacher, what we'll do, Pastor, is for your congregation, we'll make some tickets available for you and your folks.
So you can do that.
Okay.
Now, y'all heard it right here.
Committed to
Real
it.
people, real voices.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so
you very
much for having
much.
us.
And thank you
sir.
for joining us. We'll be back with the rundown. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And I'm your executive producer, Faith McKinney.
A lot of wonderful information there with Reverend Ruiz.
Yes, and the Hispanic community from the St. Louis Synod, branch of the Lutheran Church, doing a great job with Hispanic ministries. And Hispanic ministries are off the chain in our city. I mean, they're taking facilities and renovating them and creating worship centers or churches. And it's a phenomenal growth for the Hispanic community.
Got a big festival coming up.
Right.
June
Latino,
30th.
June 30th.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Family, centered around the family.
Go out and get you a couple of fish tacos, you know. Centered around the family, which
Authentic
is authentic
fish
stuff.
tacos.
Yeah. And he's going to be giving the word. He wants everybody to know he's going to say it on that day.
Yeah, he was very definite in telling us that.
Yeah, I'm going to say a word that day, he says.
And Emil and Jason talked to us about InnoPower Indy coming up during summer celebration.
I'm going to watch that because very carefully, I don't know if I can do anything or say anything about it, but we talked that game, that vendor contract game. Even a lot of people who are in places and seats talk that game. They never get it done, though. Never get it done.
I haven't heard that much about how that's producing, juxtaposed the Ballard administration. They did a really good job at it. The present administration, I don't know. I don't know. The numbers are not out there the same. But we want to thank you for joining us. Join us again, same time next week.